In this video, we are going to look at multiplying two binomials using the FOIL method. So I'm just going to color code each of these different steps just so it makes it a little easier to see, and you can do the same thing with colored pencils. So I'm going to do first, and I get 12. That was an easy one because that's comfortable. It's something that we've seen before. But now we're going to be multiplying a radical times a number. So I'm going to do my outers. You gotta be fucking kidding. In this video, we are going to multiply two binomials with radicals in them using the FOIL method. If you take some colored pencils, we're going to color code each of our steps, F-O, I, and L. So we're going to do first, and I'm going to write that answer. 3 times 4 is 12. Then we're going to do outer. I'm going to switch colors. We'll do 3 times square root 2. Now, we want to do the outer stuff times the inner, or times the same thing. So I might put a 1 in front, and then do the outside numbers times each other and the inside. We don't have an inside of the radical, so we'll do 3 times 1, which will give us plus 3, and then square root 2. Then we're going to do the inners. That's going to be square root 12 times 4. So again, I'll put a 1 in front. We want to do the 1 times 4, so it'll be minus 1 square root of, minus 4 square root of 12. And then our last, we'll do negative square root 12 times square root 2. So that'll be minus the square root of 24. Now that we have this multiplied out, this is where we will have to do some simplifying and combining like you did with your adding, subtracting section. The last two are the only two that simplify. We can do 2 and 6, 2 and 3. We can do 2 and 12, 2 and 6, 2 and 3. So we'll have 12 plus 3 square root of 2 minus 4 square root of 2 times 3. So to check your final answer, you can type in the first part into your calculator. And you will get an answer of negative 2.51. And then you can type your answer into the calculator. So we originally got negative 2.51. This should go on these lines in between these approximate symbols. So you're going to type in the original, get your answer, and then you'll type in the answer, and it should come out to the same decimal like we did with the earlier ones. This video is going to take you through multiplying radicals using the FOIL method. In our second video, we'll look at another method to do the same type of problem. So first, take some colored pencils. We're going to outline FOIL with 4 different colors. Just kind of help show those different steps. So FOIL, we're doing first. So we'll do 3 times 4, which gives us 12. Then we're going to do the outers. Now with the outers, when you do your multiplying, it will help to add a 1 in front of that radical, because anything that's outside a radical gets multiplied to the outside number of that radical. So 3 times 1 will give us 3, and then the square root 2 stays square root 2 because there's nothing to multiply it by. All right, inner, same thing. Put a 1 in front of the 12. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4 square root 12. So that's our next term. And then our last term will be negative 1 square root 12 times square root 2. Since both parts are inside the radical, we'll make this minus 1 square root of 24. Now we have to do what we did with our adding, subtracting, and simplify if possible. So our last two would require some simplifying. We could do 3 and 4, 2 and 2. And you can break these down how you're comfortable. So if you break this down and do it differently, that's okay. As long as you have the same values, all right, sorry I squished that last one in a little bit. Remember, you are looking for groups of 2. So I have 2 2s. Oops, let's fix that. And 2 2s here. I should have 3 2s and a 3. I wrote an extra 3, so just make sure you fix that if you copied that wrong. We keep the 12. We keep the plus 3 square root 2. We take out a 2 from one of our circles, and we take out another 2 from one of our circles. And then re-multiply out what we can multiply. Nothing combines here, so I'm going to box off my final answer. They're all different radicals. Now in your calculator, you're going to take a minute now to type in the original and get an answer. You should get negative 2.51. And now I'm going to put that on one side of my approximation here. Next, you're going to type in your answer into your calculator and see if they come out to be the same. Because they come out to the same approximate decimal, you know you did your work correctly. So it's something you always want to do with radicals as long as there's no variables in the beginning. Put in your original problem, get a decimal, put in your answer, get a decimal, and make sure that they match.